And we start off, I believe, in the flyweight division with a matchup here between Aaron Tao and Namzrai Batbayar. You got plus 105 on the Maori fighter and minus 125 on the Mongolian. Now, starting off on the Tao side of things, who's riding a 3-fight winning streak now, especially after that performance that he had against Elijah Smith on the Contender series at 135 pounds, he probably decided, hey, I can cut the weight down to 125 pounds. He's only 5'4" with the 66-inch reach, and it seems to be working out for him thus far. Although the level of competition in his first 2 matchups, not the highest of levels, so he was able to finish those guys. And then he faced some adversity in his second road to UFC matchup against Shuai Yin. I believe that was the guy's name. But that was a close fight. That was a fight where Tao did some good work in the first round, threatening with his takedowns, trying to get to his power punching game as well. But Yin shut most of that down, but still lost that round. The second round, very close, and even though the damage was showing on Yin's face, I thought he was doing a good job of landing big shots of his own and probably swinging the momentum in his favor, and that was probably going to be a round that he would have won. Unfortunately, he ended up getting knocked down by Tao, and Tao was able to get that back into his favor. Thus, he won rounds 1 and 2. Start to fall off in round 3. Yin put the blasters on, and he was able to land some big damage, but unfortunately, he couldn't finish Tao. Tao is a city kickboxing representative who I think a lot of that love has kind of rubbed off onto some of his betting lines and even kind of exaggerated his talent level. I don't think he's that great. He's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. He loves to mix it up. He loves to provide some chaos and really drag his opponents into wars. But as we see, obviously in that Elijah Smith fight, and as we're going to continue to see when he fights tougher competition, it's going to be harder for him to find much success. If he can't knock them out and if he can't get to his wrestling, things are going to start to go sideways for him. He's going up against Namzrai Batbayar, who's a Mongolian beast, with his only loss coming at the hands of Nyamjagal Tumendemberel, who's obviously in the UFC and doing some good work of his own. But Batbayar is on a solid winning streak ever since that loss. 2 of those wins coming under the Road to UFC banner. The first getting that knockout victory against Yamauchi, and then last time around pulling off an upset against a guy that I thought was a more talented striker in Agulali. We saw Batbayar in the Yamauchi fight try to lean on his grappling in the first round, which is his main focus in matchups, dragging opponents to the ground, smashing them from that top position, and getting these finishes. But he was struggling to get that dominant position against Yamauchi, and it seemed like the momentum was starting to shift the other way. To begin the second round, Batbayar let go of the grappling game plan and start to engage in a war, throwing big shots, and that eventually led to him getting that knockout victory over Yamauchi in the opening seconds of round 2. In the Agulali fight, it seemed like he kind of ditched the grappling once again and let his power do the talking, and he eventually caught Agulali with a big shot and eventually got that club and sub opportunity to get the finish there. He's very skilled. He's very strong as well when he gets to his grappling. He chain wrestles well, and his cardio looks pretty good too. This is a matchup here against Aaron Tao, where I believe Batbayar not being intimidated by Tao, being willing to exchange in the pocket and have power of his own, and then having the grappling advantage as well, makes me believe that the Mongolian fighter is the clear side here. Even at minus 125, I know Batbayar may not have the training camp and the coaches that Tao has, or even the hype that Tao has, but Batbayar has been showing in recent fights that he is the real deal, and I think this is a perfect matchup for him to really wear Tao down and possibly find a second or third round finish. So to kick things off here, I think we see Batbayar win the flyweight Road to UFC tournament.